Hello folks, this is another topic from Microsoft Excel. This time it's referred to as absolute sales. The scenario is going to be based on the Logan van hire, and what we're looking to do, if I just scroll slightly down, we won't be able to find out what the total price that has to be paid by each of the clients, but we have yet to add on the VAT. Now what you will see on the right hand side is a little pink square. This will take you down through the maths and also explain what the step 1 and the step 2 is. So you can go back to this file and revise what you've just seen. So let's get started. By this stage, you're very aware that we start with a destination cell, and our destination cell is G11. We always start with an equal sign, and then we do our cell reference, operator, cell reference. So for Ross White to work out how much he has to pay, I'm going to click into F11, which is £282.80. I'm then going to multiply that by the VAT. And that's the way that we're used to doing our multiplication. So if I hit the enter key, I can then find that he has to pay an additional £56.46 for VAT. What we normally do after this then, folks, is we would click into the active cell, making sure that we're clicking into the expand square, and click and drag down. And that would normally then bring us down what we refer to as our relative formula. Now, if I click outside to deselect, you will see that could not possibly have worked out correctly, because Jordan McMurdy, Andrew Moore, right the whole way down to Dylan McCotter, don't have to actually pay any VAT, which would be incorrect. So therefore, there is something that's going wrong with this information. So we're going to keep referring now to the formula bar. So if I click back into G11, the destination cell where I started the formula, you can see F11 multiplied by K7. K7 is where we find the 20% VAT. That one is fine. If I then click into the VAT for Jordan McMurdy, you can see I've got F12. F12 is the £195 that he has to pay. But this time, instead of K7, which is 20%, it has moved down one to K8. Now that's exactly what I've asked it to do. I've asked it to keep moving down through the different rows. And if I go to Andrew Marr, you will see that I'm going with F13, which is £199.67. But again, I've now moved down to K9. And K9 isn't the 20% that I'm looking for, but it's actually a cell that doesn't have anything in it. So that is the reason why that my formula has not worked out. So I'm going to delete my formula from all the cells where I don't want it to be, and I'm going to delete it. So that brings me right back then to our formula here, which says F11 multiplied by K7. This then breaks us into the area where we want to talk about absolute cells. An absolute cell is a cell that never changes in a formula. And I know that if I want to find out the VAT, I never want the 20% to change. And how I tell the computer, I turn it to an absolute cell. So step 1 tells me to name that cell. So instead of K7, I'm going to click in between the K and the 7 just so that I have that selected. And if I hit F4 on the function keys of the keyboard, that will automatically put in $1 before the K and $1 before the 7. Now what those dollars tell the computer is go to column K and stay there. Go to row 7 and stay there and don't move. It doesn't change my output of £56.46, but given that I've updated this formula now with an absolute cell, if I click into the fill down box, slide the whole way back down, you will now see that it has worked out the VAT for the rest of the clients. And if I click now into Jordan McMurdy for the VAT, You can see it has moved down the row. It goes to F12, that's the 195, but this time it has stayed with K7. So it is always linking back to K7. So in other words, if you want to have a cell that never changes in a formula, you must make it an absolute cell. And that absolute cell has got the dollar before the column and the dollar before the row. Let me click outside to deselect. And that is how we create our absolute cell, and it's how we use the absolute cell in a formula. That will finish this video. Thank you.